All right, guys, welcome to the Sweat Podcast, episode 12. I am your host, Jeremy Mason. Hope you guys are out there having a good time.
To the Sweat Podcast.
Sorry about that. Didn't realize I had a Facebook window open in the background on my laptop playing the feedback for the stream here, but at least we have a sound check. Sounds okay. Welcome in to everybody joining the show tonight. Got a loaded show for you tonight as far as local results. Look around the country, lots to talk about, lots going on. And then we'll have a brief discussion at the end of the show regarding a comment on Facebook today about a conversation that I think is important that affects every player and affects anybody that is looking to really improve their game and go to the next level and make deep runs in big tournaments. And so we'll talk about a little bit about mental stamina at the end of the show. My thoughts on that. So once again, welcome to the Sweat Podcast, episode 12. I'd like to thank our sponsor for today's show, Murray's Plumbing and Heating. You can contact Raymond Murray at 443-488-2152. Good work at a fair price. Raymond Murray of Murray's Plumbing and Heating currently services the Baltimore area, but will pretty soon be expanding his area of service over into Delaware as well. But we'd like to thank him for sponsoring the live stream, the podcast today. Also, as you could see in the lower right hand corner of your screen, we now have merchandise for the Sweat and the Sweat podcast. There is a store you can go to at merch.streamelements.com/the sweat. And so check that out if you guys would like to help out. Of course, any support is appreciated. But anyways, we'll get right into it, guys, with the local recap from this week. If you are out there watching, let me know who you are, where you're at. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. Welcome to Mike Hooper. Glad to have you with us, buddy. All right, so getting right into the local recap, starting out with the weekly events. Wednesday night at Delmarva Billiards, they had 21 players for their $15 entry 8-ball tournament. Mike McMillan back in the winner's circle. Been a little while for Mike. When they started this event, Mike was one of the dominant players, finished first or second on various occasions. Um, but it's been a little while. A lot of new faces have been out there. Some of the better players in the area have come out to try to cherry pick a little bit, and so it's been tough. That tournament's getting tougher and tougher to win. But Mike McMillan able to get it done again. I think he may have the most wins in that event since they've started running that. Second place, Noah Lowe, continuing his hot play. He's going to snap something off real soon. He's been finishing high every single time. Shout out to my boy Noah. Great job. Third place, Anthony Smith. Welcome to the Delmarva area. Anthony Smith moved to Rehoboth, Delaware, and was fortunate enough to meet him at my tournament a couple Fridays ago. And as you can see here, you've made it back to Delmarva Billiards and finished strong in a tournament here, third place. So love having you in the area, Anthony. Looking forward to having you at more of my events moving forward. Hopefully, we'll see you Friday. Fourth place, Ed Bishop. Congratulations to all four of those gentlemen. Friday night at Delmarva Billiards. Once again, that's my weekly handicap 9-ball event. We only had 17 players this week. Shout out to Matt DiCarlo. Doesn't make it down south very often, but came down and played really well. Ended up winning the event. Second place was myself. I had the hot seat, and Matt was able to defeat me in the final. He played really strong. Third place, Pompey Pamplona. What can you say? He's in the money every single week. And fourth place, John Connor back in action after a long fishing season, crabbing season, whatever it is he does all summer long. So good to see him back in action, finishing pretty high here, and hope to see him a lot more moving forward. Chop Tank's weekly handicap 9-ball tournament. That's it. Chop Tank Bowling and Billiards in Cambridge, Maryland. If you guys have not checked out that room, you certainly need to. Great venue, and Danny Bell has a really nice tournament that goes on there. Handicap 9-ball with a custom handicapping system, and he moves players around all the time as they cash repeatedly. There's a couple players that have moved up several times and continue to go up. They had 29 players this week, and they typically average, right in the 30s somewhere between 30 and 40. It's a really nice event. Steve Donaway with the win. Really nice win for Steve. A lower handicap there. I think he's probably a 3, if I'm not mistaken, in that system. And that this is one of the toughest tournaments I've seen personally. It certainly gives the lower players a chance to go deep and finish high. This is one of the lower rankings for a player that we've seen actually win the tournament. I think maybe there may have been one or two other uh, threes that have actually won that event. Um, so shout out to Steve. And Steve comes to almost every single tournament that I run down at Delmarva and has not had a lot of good success, but continues to support the tournament all the time. Love having him. And it does me some good to see him have this great result here. I know he's put in a ton of work. So congratulations to him. Second place, Rudy Robbins. Third place, Bryce Cornish with another high finish. I think he won last week. Fourth place, Cohen Bell. His handicap keeps going up and he just keeps finishing in the money. It's like, okay, that number's not high enough. It just doesn't matter what you do. He outruns the nuts and he gets there. So great job by Cohen. Fifth, six, John Connor and Freddie Miles. Couple more strong players there. Delmarva Amateur Tour had event number 18 this week. I did not actually catch what the venue was at. And Chris Wilburn runs a nice tour there, has an event seemingly almost every week, but maybe about twice a month or so. Um, I'm not sure what venue he was at this week because he travels all over the place between Virginia and Maryland. But they had 23 players. Orlin Enrique with the win, Hunter Frazier in second, and Mike Harinko in third place. That one, I believe this one was played on 9-foot tables. I can tell you that. I did not catch what the venue was. Sorry for that exclusion. But great job by Chris as always. And congratulations to your top three there. Joe Norton Tournaments back in action. Two tournaments this last weekend, I believe at Center Pocket in Bowie, Maryland. Saturday, they had the Black Eyed Susan 9-ball doubles. I believe this is the first running of the 9-ball event. He's had that Black Eyed Susan event doubles before, but I think 8-ball, maybe a couple years, and this is the first 9-ball. If that's incorrect, somebody can feel free to jump in the comments and correct that statement or give us more accurate information. But anyways, they had a 9-ball doubles event. Darlene Lewis and Lewis Wahage in first place. Lewis Wahage is playing some really good pool, man. I've seen him in the top 1 or 2 or 3 in so many tournaments in the last couple months, man. Watch out for that guy. Hitting them good. Congratulations to those guys with the win. Second place, Nick Spriggs and Richard France. Third place, Josh Muhammad with Mike Soleil. Josh is just getting used to winning, man. He finishes in the money seemingly every week, wherever he's playing. Great job by the young men there. Mike Soleil, of course, no surprise, always hits him good. Fourth place, Ed, I don't know if it's I had N written down from the report that I received. I don't know if that's supposed to be Ed Simon or N Simon, but with his partner Jim Lowitz in fourth place, and then your fifth, sixth tied Dan Pierce with Ralph Kramer and Rodney Sheldon Sr. with Christian Sleepy Schultz representing Denton, Maryland. Nice job from those guys. Uh, High finish there. Good to see Rodney Sheldon back in action. He played at my tournament on Friday night a week ago. And I believe in a moment you're about to see another real high finish from him over the weekend. But also on Saturday, we'll get back to that other tournament for Joe Norton in a second. But up in Pennsylvania, in the Lancaster area, if I'm not mistaken, the Jack Byerly Harry Hutchison Charity 8-ball tournament. That's a great event. They have it every year. I think this might have been the 10th or 11th running of that. Because I live streamed that event a couple years ago, and I remember it being like the 8th or the 9th annual or something like that. I could be wrong, but they've been having that tournament every year for a long time. It's a nice event. Not sure who the tournament director is. I know Clint Tiny Murray is involved with providing the tables for the facility. And I think it may be Jeff Greener in charge of running things for that. But it's a good tournament. They had 53 players this year. Thomas Haas with the win. Jason Kokenauer in second. Scott Haas in third. Felix Miranda in fourth, with Clint Tiny Murray and Mike Nichols tied for fifth, sixth. Great tournament there. Thomas Haas, what can you say, man? The young man is just in a whole nother planet with how he's playing right now. And I don't see it going away anytime soon. You guys might as well get used to hearing that name every time we give a list of winners from a tournament up in Pennsylvania or wherever else the young man decides to travel to on any given day. Great job by him. Usual suspects up there: Jason Kochnour, Scott Haas. No surprises. Great job by those guys. Fargo Handicap Singles 9-ball tournament. This was your other JNT event for the week. Sunday at Center Pocket in Bowie, Maryland. 72 players. Real nice event. And Curtis Branker, I believe, had the hot seat. Shout out to Curtis, man. Curtis does so much for pool. He's a great follow on Facebook. If you guys don't follow Curtis Branker's Facebook page, you need to do yourself a favor and go ahead and do so, because he gives great information, pool related, great statistics and analytics from tournaments that have happened and upcoming events as well. Just a really good follow there. But sometimes we forget about how good of a player he can be as well. He's gone through a little bit of an elongated slump. Josh Muhammad is correcting me in the comments. These tournaments were at bank shots. I apologize for that. Both of these JNT events were at bank shots. Sorry for that mistake. Thanks, Josh, for pointing that out. Appreciate you, buddy. But anyways, Curtis Branker, through a field of 72 players, had the hot seat. Love seeing him play well. He's been in a little bit of a long slump, not playing at the top of his game, getting the results that you would expect. But he had it this weekend. He played well. Had the hot seat, but he got double dipped in the final by a real good player in Paul O. No shocker there to see Paul get through to the final and be able to snap the tournament off. Congratulations to him. Third place, Rodney Sheldon. I told you we would mention that name again. So seems like he has shaken the rust off from pretty much taking the entire summer off. He's from what I understand, has spent almost all summer with his wife in Ocean City and the various beaches in the area, just having a good time with his wife. Just started playing pool again a couple weeks ago, and right back at it where he left off, I guess. Hitting them real good. So great job by Rodney Sheldon. Fourth place, Dave Sund. Fifth, sixth, Austin Poling. And once again, it says N Huang. So maybe it is N. EN is what I have. So I apologize if that's incorrect, but that's what it says. Seventh, eighth, Russ Redhead and James Harris. I don't believe that I've met this gentleman, James Harris, but I've seen his name finishing high here a whole lot recently. So he must be a real strong player. I look forward to getting a chance to meet James Harris if I'm not mistaken on that. But 9th through 12th, Marvin Ramirez, Tony Long, D'Angelo Jaws Spain. Tied for 9th. How you like them apples? With David Zacina rounding out the rest of your top 12 there. But wow. 10-year-old D'Angelo Jaws Spain. You guys all know who Jaws is. Tied for 9th in a field of 72 tough players here on a Sunday. And, the discussion that we're going to get to at the end of the show about mental stamina actually is derived from a post by Jaws' father, Frank Spain II, because apparently he approached Jaws at the end of this tournament and asked him what he thought he needed to work on. And Jaws said that he kind of ran out of gas mentally. And by the end of it, he was just kind of going through the motions, and he would like to work on having better mental stamina. A 10-year-old said that. So maybe all you guys out there that are struggling to improve in your game, maybe you should take a page or two from the young man and learn a thing or two about how he analyzes himself after a real good finish. A lot of people in that spot, at his skill level that he's at now, would be real thrilled to finish where he did, but not satisfied, wants to be better. So it feels like he can be better, and I believe he can. The young man is very impressive. I actually got to play against Jaws for the first time last Wednesday at Frank. His father was running some mini boards at Center Pocket on Wednesday night. I figured I'd drive over and give it a look. And I played okay. The first board had 8 players, and I was in the final. I lost to Jimmy Various, which, I'm supposed to lose to Jimmy Various, but I felt like I didn't play that well. Missed some opportunities. And then we did it again. So it's funny because the first one was winner take all, and I came in second. And then, Jimmy's there. Jimmy's the best player kind of by far for the entire bracket. And so Mr. Spain, of course, comes up to me and says, "Hey, we're going to run another one if you want to jump back in. I think we're going to pay first and second this time," because, everybody felt like there was probably a really good chance Jimmy was going to win again. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'm in. And then, of course, for the second one, I drew Jimmy in the first round. And it was single elimination. So fun times. But anyways, the point being, I had the pleasure of playing against Jaws for the first time on Wednesday night. I actually went hill in the first round with him. And man, the young man's so impressive. Hits them real good, but makes good decisions. Just carries himself well at the table, and certainly a testament to the way that his parents, the job that his parents have done in raising those children. And my gosh, man, you talk about some respectful kids, but just what an awesome family they are. But anyways, the discussion at the end of the show will be a derivative from that. Those comments from those two about mental stamina, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on mental stamina when we get to that point. Moving right along, that actually does conclude our opening segment here with the local recap. We'll get into this local upcoming schedule. Big weekend this coming weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Maryland State Amateur 9-Ball Championships at Chop Tank Bowling and Billiards. That is an On the Hill Productions event. You can contact Rick Scarlato Jr. or Lloyd Bolliard if you would like to play. That's October 17th and 18th at Chop Tank Bowling and Billiards. You can also find information regarding that event at On the Hill Productions on Facebook. Find the event, look at the discussion, and I believe there's PayPal information for how you can pre-register for the event if you would like to play, and there are positions available to my understanding. So check them out. Great event. Also, this Sunday, 96 player Fargo Frenzy 10 ball, max of 650 Fargo at Center Pocket in Bowie. It's a BNL Billiards Tournaments event live streamed by The Sweat. I will be there doing commentary, running the live stream. Looking forward to it. That is Sunday, October 18th, this coming week. Going to be a good one. Anybody that's knocked out of the Maryland State 9-Ball Championship, or anybody that's not able to play on Saturday but looking for something on Sunday, look that up. It's a full field right now, from what I understand. But at the last event that Brian and Lai ran, that was similar size. I would say that probably a quarter of the field was in and out throughout the course of the last week. So if you would like to play in that event, I believe you could still get in for sure. Contact Brian and Lai or look up BNL Billiards Tournaments on Facebook. And then the following weekend, just announced today that I will be doing the live stream as well for a nice challenge match between Mike Hooper and Larry Steele. That's going to be Saturday, October 23rd at Center Pocket. They'll be playing 3 races to 11. The first player to win 2 sets will get the cash. I believe there's 1,000 in the middle. They're going to play 8-ball the first set, 10-ball the second set, and then they're going to play 9-ball if need be for the third set. They're playing on the bar table, diamond. As far as I know, I'm pretty sure. I do know because I remember a comment from Larry talking about bar table's not necessarily his cup of tea, but he likes the matchup. He's going to try it out. So looking forward to that. That's a great matchup in my opinion. Mike Hooper is certainly the more of the experienced bar table player, but Larry Steele, the more experience in general. But Mike Hooper's been hitting them good, finishing high in every event, calling his shots actually too. There was one time we saw Mike Hooper, he basically said on Facebook, and he commented afterwards that it was a bit of a misspeaking on his part, but he basically said, "Hey, when I cash," you know what I mean? And then somebody called him out on it, and he's like, "Oh, it's not what I meant." And then, of course, he got like second place or first place. So it was great. Love that. But the Mike Hooper is hitting them real good, playing with more confidence than he ever has in his entire life. And I think this is going to be a fantastic matchup. Larry Steele, anybody that doesn't know, hits him real good, real solid player. And I'm looking forward to calling the shots on that one for the live stream. Honored to have the opportunity. So you guys make sure you like and follow the Sweat on Facebook so you guys can get the notifications that you need when that kind of action comes on. Once again, that's next Saturday, or the following Saturday. I'm sorry, October 23rd. It'll be about 7 p.m. But that same day, JNT has 2 tournaments at the same location, Center Pocket. On October 23rd, JNT Fargo 500 and under Fargo 10-ball event. That kind of speaks for itself. 500 and below 10-ball. Contact Joe Norton. And then also Joe Norton tournaments, Fire and Ice Fargo, 1,200 and under 8-ball Scotch doubles, or I should say 8-ball doubles, because I believe what I read was that the winner's side will be regular doubles, shoot till you miss, and the B side will be Scotch doubles. I may have those two flip-flop, but that's the basic idea of the tournament. I'm not sure which one's winner's side and which one's B side, but That is your Fire and Ice Fargo 1200 under 8-ball doubles tournament. Contact Joe Norton or look up Joe Norton Tournaments on Facebook if you'd like to play in either of those events next weekend, October 23rd at Center Pocket. Also, like to give a big shout out to Flowmasters Pool League. I had a great conversation on Wednesday with Spike Lewis. He asked if I would give him a shout out on the podcast, and of course I obliged. I wanted everybody to know everything going on in the pool world locally here. He is based out of Center Pocket in Bowie, Maryland. You can contact him at flowmasterspool@gmail.com. He has it's basically a play on a Masters format. Teams of 3 to 5, 3 players play per night, singles matchups, no handicap. I believe you play some 9-ball, some 10-ball, and some 8-ball if the match goes long enough. It's a race to 6. So potential for 11 games. I think it's 4 games of 9, 4 games of 10, and 3 games of 8 if you make it that far. That's the general idea of the matchups. And like I said, 3 players play per night, per team. That is based out of Center Pocket. And once again, you can contact Spike Lewis at flowmasterspool@gmail.com if you would like information regarding that league. He is looking to expand, add more teams, possibly add more venues. So contact Spike Lewis concerning that if you're looking for something to do on a Wednesday night in the Baltimore area. All right, that's it for the local upcoming schedule. Actually, I believe one more thing on that. I believe I have a challenge match just about locked in with myself and Brandon Foster that may be on October 24th, and streamed, of course, by the Sweat. But I will be creating a flyer for that once I have all of the information locked in so you guys can know what's going on with that. Looking forward to playing Brandon. Should be a great matchup. I've always enjoyed playing Brandon. Plays well. He's a gentleman. So stay tuned for more information regarding that. All right, look around the pool world. Austrian Open. This was a Predator Pro Series event by Q Sports International. The Austrian Open. 58 players in the Open event. Your champion, Clint Kachi. Second place, Tyler Steyer. Finally, a good result for Tyler Steyer. You know, a lot of us have had discussions about the Mosconi Cup team this year, and we were just waiting for one of these players to have a breakout performance, one of these American players to have a breakout performance at one of these big events that have happened over the course of the last 2 months. Every single week, there's been a major event basically for the last 2-3 weeks. I should say, I'm sorry, 2 months is what I mean to say. Every week, there's been like 8 or 9 back to back to back, basically going all the way back to the Brennan Crockett Memorial out in Sacramento. So, I mean, just probably 9 or 10 consecutive events, huge events, and we're just waiting for a good performance from an American player other than Shane Van Boning or Sky Woodward, and it just has not happened. I mean, they haven't been in bad form necessarily. Like, we certainly haven't seen Tyler's best, but Chris Reinhold has seemed to be in fair form. Just has not made a real good, strong, deep run in anything, seemingly anything. I don't want to disrespect any great performance that he has had that I'm missing, but Tyler certainly has been off his form. And in my opinion, part of the issue for Tyler has been that a lot of these tournaments have been playing with the triangle rack, which basically takes the break away from some of these players with the monster break. And it's become more of a moving game, more of a clutch kind of game. Who can come with a great shot at the time when they really need it with these short races, and you don't have the break. The break doesn't really do anything for you. It just comes down to mental fortitude and how good you move and beating somebody else to the shot. And you're not going to get it off the break. So I think that's hurt Tyler. I think Tyler has one of the top. You know, if Molina Mike was here, I could be more accurate with the statement. But for my money, he's got one of the top 5 or 6 10-ball breaks that we've seen, and just hasn't had it with these formats with this new Predator triangle rack. And it's just been tough. And I think if we have a discussion about Fargo rate and how it works, if I give you 2 players and they're both a 750 Fargo, one of them has a top 5 break in the world for 10 ball, and the other one does all things pretty well. And you take away the break from Tyler Steyer, he's not a 750 player without the break. all those things, like, so we have these discussions when we talk about gambling in other sports, right? If you're trying to pick somebody against the line in a football matchup, if the Patriots are -3 to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'm pulling this out of my rear end right now out of thin air. But if team A is -3 to beat team B, everything is already baked into that number. You don't then say, well, team A has the better quarterback, so I think they're going to beat the spread. Well, you can't just do it like that because that better quarterback is already built into that spread. Vegas already knows everything about these two teams and builds all that stuff into the spread. So when you're betting against a spread, you have to figure out, where is Vegas wrong? They're wrong about this because this and this. So when we say that Tyler Steyer is a 750 Fargo and he's playing against another player that's a 750 Fargo, and you say to me, well, I like Tyler because of his break, it's not that simple. Tyler's break is a huge part of what makes him a 750 Fargo. And I think that's a point that a lot of people miss on that. So I said all that to say that if you have a player that's a 750 Fargo with a monster break and you put them in a situation where the break is negated, maybe they're not so strong of a player anymore. And I'm not on here to bash Tyler. I just think that the formats have been real tough for Tyler. Um, but here you go, able to get over the hump. Second place, loses to a Clint Kachi, who may be the best player in the world right now, playing 10 ball. Not quite sure, but he's in the conversation, with a couple other guys. Obviously, Aloysius Siap, obviously, a couple other guys, real hot. Naoki Oi, maybe Johan Chu is somewhere in that conversation. And of course, the usual suspects, your Josh Filler, who's not hot right now, but always a threat. Shane Van Boning, Junglin Chang, those guys. But Clint Kachi, he's way, way, way up that list right now. So no shame in that loss for Tyler, but real strong finish for him. I said all that to say, I think this was the performance that Tyler needed, if he needed one, to really solidify his spot on the Mosconi Cup team. I believe he will be on the USA Mosconi Cup team now. And actually, there's a chance I missed some Mosconi Cup news today. Slacking. I actually saw Nate Mindham of the Cue It Up Network came out with a podcast today. I did not watch it yet, and there that's one of my go-tos for getting some breaking news and stuff. So I'll have to go check that out. I may be missing something big here for an announcement for Team USA or Team Europe, but anyways, to the best of my knowledge, we have Shane and Sky on Team USA and uh, Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. No, I'm sorry, I apologize. David Al Qaid and Albin Ocean selected already for Team Europe. So that's the point in time where my knowledge stops concerning Mosconi Cup selection for this year, and there may have been something that came out today. But I believe Tyler had the performance that he needed this week. I think he will make the team. So congratulations to him. And just really in general, just nice to see him playing well. I don't think there's very many people in the game that work harder than Tyler Steyer. Certainly an unquestioned and unmatched work ethic, and just a really nice young man. Hear nothing but great things about the way he carries himself, about the way he represents his sponsors. Just really good stuff from him. Third, fourth tie. For anybody that doesn't know, these Predator Pro Series events are 64 player fields, and they do a redraw at the final 16. It is single elimination from that point. So third and fourth, a tie. Jean Van Lierop and Matus Snigaki. Probably didn't say either of those even remotely close to correct, but congratulations to those players for third and fourth, or for third place tie. And then fifth through eighth, Mohamed Sufi, Roman Heibler, Daniel Maciol, and Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. So only three players that I actually know of that finished in the top eight here, with Clenty, Tyler, and Sanchez Ruiz. So, but congratulations to all of those players. There was also a women's division for the Austrian Open. 28 players. Kelly Fisher, your champion. Congratulations to Kelly. She's in great form. Bojana Sarac in second. Veronica Ivanovsky and Christina Tkach tied for third. Nice tournament there. There was also a professional event at Rex on the Rocks, live streamed by Pool Action TV. A couple divisions, 10 ball. They only had 17 players in that, but it was a loaded field. All Filipino top four. Dennis Orcollo, your champion. Jeffrey DeLuna in second. Alex Pagulayan third. And Roberto Gomez in fourth. One pocket division, only 9 players. Once again, Dennis Orcollo, your champion, came back through the B side. Warren Kiamko had the hot seat, finishes in second place, and John Mora finishes in third. John playing a really good all around game right now. We saw him finish high in the banks last week, high one pocket finish here, and obviously playing great rotation. So, wow, just continues to impress. Back in top form. I would say that the comeback is complete. He is here. He is who we thought he is. Um, anyways, they also had a bar table 8-ball event there at Racks on the Rocks. There was 94 players. First place, John Gabriel. Second place, Abraham Martinez. And third place, Mickey Kraus. So that had to give a mention there to that event at Racks on the Rocks. Once again, PPV at Pool Action TV. And I plug them all the time. But guys, if you want to watch some good action consistently for a real fair price, you can get a 6-month pass to the Pool Action TV pay-per-view for $120. And then when it renews, it is only $100 for the next 6 months after that. And as far as I know, every 6 months moving forward after that. So really good value there. And it seems like almost every week, if not at least every other week, they have something real good to watch, whether it be a tournament live stream feature table or a huge challenge match. All right, so that's it for our look around the country. But in other news, congrats to Nathan Childress, youngest ever Virginia State 9-ball champion. The win came on his birthday. I believe he turned 18. Congratulations to Nate. Really, really strong stuff there. Well deserved. No surprises. He's a outstanding player and just going to continue to get better. Congrats also to Martin Sawicki from Poland. A lot of you guys know who Martin is. He actually did a lot of the work with myself and the Booth brothers as we've brought you some live streams from the outer tables at some of those Predator Pro Series events. Martin was the guy on the ground with the camera and doing some commentary as well. He's the manager for the Polish team as they travel around the country. But Martin Sawicki over the weekend, your New Jersey State Amateur 8-ball champion. So he can play a little bit too. Great job by Martin. Congratulations to him. Love seeing that. Also, in other news, Fedor Gorst defeated Devin Poteet in their one pocket match. I believe it was a race to 16 at the Players Club in West Virginia. Congratulations to Fedor. I think we'll see a lot more one pocket challenge matches coming up from Fedor. Really looking to take that game on and get a lot better. So he's got a lot of rungs he can climb on that ladder. He started here with Devin Poteet, but he has a ton of opponents in front of him if he wants it. All right, what to watch moving forward? Again, getting back to Fedor Gorst. That match with Alex Pagulayan, I believe that was supposed to start sometime this week, possibly today. That 10-ball match is postponed due to health issues for Gorst. I actually looked at his Facebook profile today. He said for everybody not to panic. It's just some back issues, a little bit of overstrain. He's been playing basically 3 months straight with no breaks. And so the chiropractor told him he had to absolutely not play any pool for at least a week. And so that's an update from Fedor. He's okay. He's going to be okay. But that match is postponed with Alex. They have not announced a date as to when that will be moved to, if they are going to play that still. But I'll make sure you guys get that information as soon as I have it. Predator Pro Series Ohio Open. This is the next one, the Predator Pro Series. I think this is stop number 6. They've had Tucson, Las Vegas, Michigan, Austria, and now there you go. Ohio starts tomorrow, the 13th. You can catch the live stream at World Billiard TV on YouTube or Billiard TV channel on the Distro TV app or distrotv.com. That's going to be a great show. I think Jeremy Jones and George Teachea will be the main commentators, but you're also going to hear a little bit of Mark White, who did a great job at the last event in Michigan. Unfortunately, I have been told that they are not going to allow any secondary streaming at this event. I don't know if that's going to continue to be the case moving forward, but I do know that there will not be any secondary streams. So the Booth brothers have been doing that for you guys the last couple events. That will not be the case this week. So make sure you check out World Billiard TV on YouTube or Billiard TV channel on Distro TV app. Scott Frost versus Chip Compton, 1 pocket, race to 40, playing over 4 days on 4 1/8-inch pockets, October 19th through 22nd. That is an Omega TV pay-per-view. It's going to be a good one. Marathon 1 pocket match there. And then, of course, still coming up, the International Open presented by Pat Fleming, October 22nd through 30th, pay-per-view on accustats.com. And think they still have early bird specials where you can get $20 off either package. They have 2 packages available. One is the feature table for the entire week. The other one includes the feature table, but also every other table. You can pick whichever table you want to watch with a scoreboard. There will not be commentary except for on the feature table, but great value there from Pat Fleming at the International Open, October 22nd through 30th. So that's coming up pretty quick. All right, that's everything I have for the What to Watch, guys. Wanted to have a quick discussion here on the mental stamina. And maybe some of you read my comments earlier today on Facebook on Frank Spain, the second's post. But once again, anybody that missed it earlier in the show, D'Angelo Jaws Spain is 10 years old. He finished 9th through 12th in a 72-player field last weekend at Bank Shots on Sunday. And his father, Frank Spain II, asked him after the tournament what he thinks he needs to improve upon. And the young man says, I would like to work on my mental stamina. Because I felt like at the end, I was kind of just going through the motions. I didn't really have the focus that I needed, and I would like to work on that. So Frank made a post today asking everybody what they thought about how you can work on that. I'm going to see if I can find the post so I can find some of the comments. Now, I think there's a couple things that go into this. For me, the number one thing is you have to put yourself in that spot continually. You have to get back there and just get reps, and you'll get better and better automatically just by doing it over and over again. But that's not the only thing. I think physical stamina is intricately connected to mental stamina. The brain is a part of the body, and when you are physically tired, you will become mentally tired as well. There's a lot of really good players that work on their mental stamina by working on their physical fitness. I think that that's a great idea. I think accompanied with some other things, that is probably a great route to go. Whether that be somebody like Ralph Souquet, I think I heard him say that he runs or rides a bike or something like that. I think yes, he said he's a runner. Um, yeah, Red Bull. Maybe disregard that comment, guys. I'm not sure that's the best way to go. But anyways, physical fitness certainly plays into it. But there's a lot of other things as well. I think one of the things we talk about all the time is taking care of your body throughout the course of a tournament. First of all, making sure that you come in rested. I know for a fact that when I run my Friday night tournament, if I'm playing on Saturday, it ain't gonna be good. Um, I'm just not going to have what it takes because I get home at 3:30 in the morning and I have to get back up at 7:30 to get on the road to go drive somewhere and play. It doesn't work. You have to take care of your body and give yourself a fighting chance to have the physical capacity to compete and think at a high level over the course of a long day or a long weekend. That's huge. Make sure you're rested coming in. Also, you have to eat correct. You can't bog yourself down with heavy foods throughout the course of the day. You can't do what I do all the time, which is completely ignore it and just realize at 3:30 in the afternoon that you haven't eaten anything since 7 a.m. and just pass out somewhere. That's not going to work. So that's something to pay attention to. And what I've found is connected to that. If you do find yourself struggling a little bit mentally late in a tournament, you can give yourself a real nice boost with a candy bar or some kind of a meal bar or anything like that for a quick boost in get your metabolism going again, get your digestive system back on track, um, and that works. That really works. So pay attention to your eating throughout the course of the day. But I'd like to address a comment that I read that I disagreed with, and I hope the person that wrote this comment understands that I'm not trying to pick on them or make fun of them or anything like that. I think the comment is in some aspects very correct, and I'll point that out to you guys. Um, so let me see if I could find that. It says, I don't know how you work on mental stamina, but I do know that habits in between matches helps. Leave the table alone between games. Don't talk or think about pool. If you have some time, go for a quick walk or go to a car or rest your eyes for a bit. Keep a note of things you must do to play your best and look at it before each match. Now, there's a lot of good stuff in that comment. First of all, there's some great players that follow that comment to the T, and it works for them. I've seen there are certain guys I could tell you right now that when they're at a tournament, they are not going to hit a ball. Some of them aren't even going to warm up. They're going to sit and relax and rest throughout the course of the day, and when it's their time to play, they're going to play. Um, the interesting thing about that is you see a lot of exceptions to that at the highest level. Um, the Filipino players have a cue in their hand literally all day when they're not eating. If they're not eating, they're playing pool. They've got a table. They find a table somewhere where they can hit balls. If you get them at a tournament where they're not allowed to hit balls in between matches, they don't know what to do with themselves because it's just what they do. Guys like Shane Van Boning, he had that match with Cheng Jung Lin, and they played till 6 o'clock in the morning, and then decided they were going to come back and extend the race the next day. And Shane comes in on 2 hours of sleep and breaks for 3 hours. Just the break shot, practices for 3 hours before the match for a race to 40. Um, and Shane is like that. He just hits balls constantly. He works constantly. Tyler Steyer works constantly. He's the first one in the pool room and the last out. Um, and so I think that while there is some value for a lot of people in the comment that was made by the gentleman, I think there are exceptions. I think if you are somebody who maybe does not work a full-time job, um, or somebody that is looking to be a professional level player, um, maybe there is more value in the opposite strategy. And you'll notice this, like I can tell you firsthand, because when I got into the game seriously about maybe almost 6 years ago now, but probably about 5 years ago, I would go to a tournament and I work all day, go to a tournament, and then I would literally hit balls from the time I got to the venue until the time that the tournament ended at 2 o'clock in the morning every time. And I'd be dead. There'd be times I'd be just going through the motions. Um, and listen, it's way better if you could find a way to have your practice be concerted and um, have some kind of a check to make sure that you're not just going through the motions. I would definitely recommend that. But there's value in just going through the motions too. There's value in just getting your body used to working at that level for that length of time. The mental stamina will come. It came for me, and I'm not anywhere near what I would like to be as a pool player. But I could tell you this: I hit balls from the time the tournament started until the time it ended for years. For 2 or 3 years, I did that. Um, and eventually, I did get to a point where I thought that I had to seriously consider that there may be more value for me in getting some rest. But again, full time job, and I'm trying to be able to get the most out of the stamina and energy that I have to work with. If I was trying to be a professional pool player, I don't think that would be my approach. I think I would be hitting balls constantly. Um, because those players that I just mentioned, all the Filipino players, and Shane Van Boening and Tyler Steyr, those are the guys that have the stamina. Those are the guys that when it gets late in the tournament, they're not out of gas because they put themselves through that every day. And when it's late in the night on a Sunday morning, at the end of a tournament, they're used to it. They don't care. So I think there's two sides to that. That would be my argument to the comment. And once again, nothing but respect for the gentleman that wrote the comment. Again, there's a lot of good in there. And if you are somebody that is looking to manage your energy levels, there's a lot of good stuff in there. There's a lot of good stuff in there. Not everything that he said was necessarily concerning mental stamina, and it was good. It was really good. That was great advice. But I think in the case of a 10-year-old boy that probably has aspirations of being a professional pool player and lives, eats, and breathes pool, yeah, I think I'd be constantly hitting balls. Um, yeah, I think I would. And the one thing I'll say is there may be short-term backtrack from that. I think short term, there will be times when you do not get your best result on any given day because of overexertion. I 100% agree with that. But long term, if you're trying to be the best player that you can be and have the most mental stamina out of everybody that you know, I think long term, that's the way to go. So that's my thoughts on mental stamina. I'd love to hear any feedback on that, guys. There's been a couple funny comments about, Red Bull and Adderall and cocaine. I guess I can say that on there. Yeah. I listen, I drink Red Bull when I'm at tournaments, but if I could get away with not doing that, I would. I think it'd be better if I could just, be in better condition and do it a healthier way. Drink water, eat right, maybe work out. Um, but yeah, the way the professionals deal with having to build up their mental stamina is they beat balls into the pocket for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And the guys with the best mental stamina are the guys that are pool addicts or workaholics. Tyler Steyr may not be a pool addict. He's a workaholic. Shane Van Boening is addicted to pool. And we actually see him at a point in his career now where he tries to get away from it. He seems like he enjoys himself more fishing than he does playing, but he's addicted to it. When he's in a pool hall, he has got to be hitting balls. He just does. That's just who he is. He was at a Dynaspheres event back in early in the spring or beginning of the summer, and he hadn't eaten, and he's doing challenge matches with whoever will come can play him a race to 5 for 100, or he's playing 2 or 3 games with any of the junior players that want to play for free. And his manager's there telling him, like, look, you got to go eat. Like, this is the last one. You have to go eat. And Shane Van Boening just kept taking all comers, would not stop. Anybody that wanted to play, he'd play. Races to 5 for 100 over and over and over and over and over, and would not quit because he just loves pool that much. He's addicted to it. And but anyways, I feel like I'm rambling a little bit now, but I will say that the guys with the best stamina are the guys that are addicted, Shane Van Boening and some of your Filipinos, and the guys that are just workaholics like Tyler Steyr. And there's fewer of those, but those guys have the best mental stamina out of anybody. I guess that's everything I've got for today, guys. One more time, I'd like to thank Murray's Plumbing and Heating for supporting the stream, being a sponsor, guys. Certainly check out Murray's Plumbing and Heating if you have any plumbing or heating needs in the Baltimore area, and coming soon in Delaware. There's a number at the top left corner of your screen you can reach him at if you would like to. And also check out the merch store, merch.streamelements.com/thesweat. Some good stuff on there. Hopefully you guys like what you see there. And I look forward to seeing you guys this weekend. I'm going to be streaming the big event for BNL, doing commentary. It's going to be a blast. I can't wait for that. I guess that's everything we've got for today, guys. You've been watching the Sweat Podcast. I'm Jeremy Mason. Have a good week.